at Loftus Versfeld, having played, of course, the MTN 8 quarterfinal match out at Lucas Masterpieces Moripe. So this is a sweet homecoming from them. They were away in the first two league games, or the first league game, of course, when they played away to Kaizer Chiefs, and came away with a draw there. And, well, they'll be looking to continue their impeccable record at this venue, or their home record anyway. They are absolutely unplayable at home. Unbeaten in 30 in all competitions. That is a remarkable record, shared only by Kaizer Chiefs. But today there is a chance to extend that run of run of matches without defeat at home. Alongside me for this one is a man who's won the yellow of Mamelodi Sundowns with distinction and with pride. It's the one they call Donatoni. Teko Modise is with me. Teko, well, good to have you with us as always. Mamelodi Sundowns haven't really hit their stripes yet, and that should really worry the opposition, given the fact that even though they haven't quite hit their full gas, they're already looking dangerous. As we take a look at, I'll get your thoughts on that. Just the starting lineups there. Some changes. He's really shuffled the pack as Miguel Cardoso with four changes to the team that drew against Kaizer Chiefs. And in comes Bennett Mokoena for his third appearance, his first start for the 19-year-old. Cassius Mailula is rewarded as well for his goal that he scored to rescue a point against Chiefs. He gets his first start for Mamelodi Sundowns in his second coming. Also a start for Malibongo Khoza, his second start in the Betway Premiership. And Fawaz Basadine also recalled to start. Just your thoughts on that, the changes that he's made.
Yeah, I think with the changes, TT, I think we can always look at Mailula maybe being given that berth because he really changes the game when he comes on against Kaizer Chiefs.
5 changes in total for Marumo Gallants, including in goal, where Emil Lako, the man signed from Real Native, starts for the very first time. Other changes, the experienced Edgar Manaka comes into that midfield. Kumbulani Ngube also gets his first start for the season. And there's Yanga Matiba, who starts at left back. And then also Katlego Utladisa getting his first appearance of the season.
I think with this team, I think they realized as to the defensive faculty that they had against Stellis, hence the changes there at the back. But Manaka, with his experience in that midfield, they have to be very solid and rely on his experience. Yesterday, they do not have an out-and-out striker. They're playing with the false nine and Lonzo, lot of mobility up front. So it is a team that really suffer without the ball, but they need to make sure that once they do have the ball, they need to create chances.
Puti Mahafe will be looking to register. Wow, what a task that is, to register his first win and having to do it against Mamelodi Sundowns. By the way, a man in charge is Eugene Mkluli, assisted by Cledwin Baloy and Lalelani Mgadi, with Abram Mashala doing the paperwork on the sidelines. Our match commissioner from Oche in Sosha, Robert Sitole. Now, it's going to be a special occasion here for the Sundowns and their supporters. There's a bright yellow is out in force. The scarves are out. It's a celebration of the 2 stars that they now have. They wear proudly on the left side of their chest here. A remarkable achievement. The first South African club to win multiple CAF Champions League titles. So Marumo Gallants will know they're up against it. Puti Mohafe spoke about an intimidating and hostile atmosphere. Well, there's a certain vibe here, a carnival atmosphere and an air of expectation amongst the Sundown supporters this evening. It's Eugene Mdluli, one of the more solid performers, and in terms of a refereeing, well, he'll need to be at his best for this one as well. It will be the visitors to get us underway. And here we go then. It is match day 2, match day 3 for these two sides, as well as they look to play catch up in the Betway Premiership. It's Mamelodi Sundowns sitting in 7th. but it's only really a function of the matches that they have played, and they can also get amongst them with a win this evening. Will take them to 7 points level on top of the table with Orlando Pirates, who are top at the moment on goal difference, and Kaizer Chiefs, who are also on 7 points. So big incentives for them. For Marumo Gallants, it's not the kind of start that they would have wanted, especially if you look at how they finished last season and how they only just survived.
And we always speak about winning becoming a habit, and so is losing. So some other teams, they need to really find a way. So then if we can't win the game, we need to be able to close the door at the back. And I'm sure that Coach Putti wasn't impressed the way that they started, conceding early on against Stelly. So they'll try to make sure that they close shop against a very dominant Mamelodi Sundowns in tonight's game.
Yeah, having the ignominy of being the first club to concede a hat-trick. Marumo Gallants with young Kuan Plaikis introducing himself to the Betway Premiership in spectacular fashion. A hat-trick on debut, wow.
And in that way, if you look at also that game, is then the difficulties that they had, that is Marumo Gallants defensively, and knowing as to then the identity of Coach Putti, always making sure that the team defends the group and very solid defenses. There's a lot of work between him and assistant coaches, then the kind of work that they need to do.
This is a fixture that Mamelodi Sundowns have absolutely dominated. It's the 9th time they're meeting tonight, and of the previous 8 matches between the two sides in the Betway Premiership, Sundowns have won 6. Marumo Gallants winning it just 2. And in fact, Sundowns have only failed to win at home against Marumo Gallants on one occasion, when they played to a 1-1 draw back in the 21-22 season. Other than that, it's been home wins all the way. There's young Amadiba for Pirates Junior, and still included in the side lineup here for Marumo Gallants, playing at left back. Well, what we are going to see, I suppose, Teko, for the rest of the season will be this squad rotation from Miguel Cardoso. I mean, he's made quite a number of changes, including on the bench.
I mean, what he said also before the game, he said the team has been struggling a little bit with either injuries or a little bit of consistency, so it forces him to have those type of changes. But those are changes that might be good in the long run for the team, as we've seen last season. Actually, then the rotation came a little bit later on, because possibly the priorities were the Champions League. But now that you have other priorities in the new season, it's important as well for those players as well to have more minutes, but also to have that little bit of consistency, because you want Mamelodi Sundowns to get into that groove that we normally know them as.
Sundowns took 4 points off Marumo Gallants last season. 1-1 draw away from home, and then in the corresponding fixture last season, Sundowns running out winners by 3-1. It's a comfortable win it was there for them. And there's a new centre-back pairing here for Sundowns again today. It was Keegan Johannes, and it could be a chance here. And the keeper, well, right spot at the right time. It's Emil Lako on debut. Flips it away from the area there. Mamelodi Sundowns, the coach was saying that they want to attack. So yeah, the intentions have been very clear, and they want to get amongst them early, and an early goal will be just what the coach has ordered here, as he says he wants them to open up.
It is kind of important. Also, you look at us to then how then they started upping the levels of the game when they played against Kaizer Chiefs after, conceding that goal. So you're playing at home, you always want to start properly. You want to start also by dominating, but also making sure that you do actually have a lead. That's why the intention and the tempo a little bit today is a little different.
Now, the dummy there, and almost A clever little routine there, dummy played in there. And the crowd enjoyed that. And young Bennett Mokoena, what an exciting young talent this young fella is. But you can say that about quite a few players from the Sundowns lineup. They've also brought in another youngster who looked absolutely amazing the other day, Sian Ndlovu.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he's been playing for Mamelodi Sundowns for quite some time. There's a lot of expectations from him, of course, with a little bit of adaptation as well to the new system. And the way of things happening, he will be able to adjust a little bit quicker. But it's also good to see also a lot of youngsters this season being given an opportunity to get into the first team and to get into the lineup, to actually, trying to also acclimatize to the way of teams playing, because we've seen as where the world is going in terms of the youngsters being given opportunities, and those are the two players that carries the team going forward.
And this is a pitch that. Commenting early on in the pre-match build-up, you all talk about how thick the surface is. Of course, it's been hosting quite a bit of rugby recently, Loftus Versfeld, including the All Blacks most recently, who were visitors it's part of the greatest rivalry series. There's Lotuli there getting a chunk out of Mokoena.
Yeah, I can see this is an early opportunity there that fell wisely for Basadine, that find himself in a high position as well. So it really becomes important for Basadine to occupy that space, especially playing with Matthews in front of you, knowing that he's always going to drift in to try and add more numbers in and around the 10 position.
I was just about to ask you about this new role that Basadine is playing in the side. And then clearly he's going to play a lot more football than he did last season.
Yeah, and I think the coach spoke about it today, that the way that he has improved in off-season.
Now, ball to the back post here. And gathered by Emile Lako, formerly with Catholic Stars, of course, these days now known as a Real Native. He's signed by Marumo Gallants, and he's getting his debut quite early on into the... What do you read into that, Tigo Matisse, with Kagiso Mlambo dropping to the bench? Let's have a look at this, see whether Sundowns can make something of it.
I think when you look at Mlambo's changes, it's very unlikely for always the coaches to make those type of changes, but you can see the goals that they've conceded with the height that he has. I think there's a lot of things that he could have done to prevent those goals. So maybe Lako can be the solution, especially against a side that will always be knocking from from the goalkeeping side of things.
Yeah, not easy coming off a back of conceding 3 goals. It's always going to be difficult to retain your place in the side. I don't know how many of the goals you would put down to him, of the 3 that he conceded.
Maybe 2, based on the fact that most of them were crosses. You could have done at least, dominated that side of the area, but you need a goalkeeper that you're able to trust, and the defenders as well can trust. So that's a department that between Lako and Mlambo needs to be able to try to own.
But there's a chance here for Lako to stake a claim to that jersey then. Basadine forced all the way back to Manbongwe Koza. So options these days with centre-back Koza, Keegan, Johannes, and of course, but this is beautiful football from Sundowns. Just couldn't sit for Mailula. And see, they'll come forward again. They're really pinning Marumo Gallants back in their own half, which is pretty much what we expected to see.
So what's impressive about Sundowns is the tempo. Normally they'll play a little bit slower and allow teams to reform. Tonight's game, you can see there's a difference between the tempo. Of course, the rotation of the ball is still there, but then it doesn't allow, Marumo Gallants to get out of their blocks once they get pinned in the defensive block that they have.
Look at that already. 10 minutes into the game. And Sundowns with 10 times more passes completed. Yeah.
Yeah, but it also just to show yesterday how Coach Puti also formulated his side with Mabuza, Monaka, Mbele. Those are 3 defensive midfielders. So obviously it just forces you to sit a little bit more deeper and not have much creativity going forward, because in Zondo he is a creative midfielder, but you're always going to need space for him to be able to play. So it's going to be very difficult, but as we said, you need to at some point gain ground and be able to create chances if you want to win the game.
Isn't that what Puti Mahafe is all about? Defensive solidity.
Yeah, that's how he formulates his team.
Now, danger. There's Matthews looks to drop the shoulder there. Good defending. And that defensive solidity that Puti Mahafe cherishes and places so much value on. You have seen now, since he's left, what this has led to out at Polokwane City in terms of the number of goals they've shipped already early on in the season.
It does change, because then every coach has his own way and style of play, and we know Marumo Gallants for so many years as a team that really will try to play the ball on the ground, making more passes. We've always been criticized, so then they want to pass all the time, not scoring goals. So Coach Puti obviously will come into the game trying to implement this style of play, and it's going to take some time, but unfortunately in South Africa we know coaches don't have time, so the results need to come a little quicker.
Yeah, and already the pressure is building as Marumo Gallants, one of 8 teams still without a win. Mamelodi Sundowns on the other hand, one of 5 teams without a loss so far early on in the season. Thought about a shot from range, but has a goal. It was Aubas, but that one kept rising. Aubas filling the breach left by the injury to Tebo Mokoena. Man who scored, that's a big blow for losing Tebo Mokoena. But it's a case to showcase, it's an opportunity to showcase the depth again.
It is, and if we have to look back maybe 2 seasons also ago, or 3, it's very difficult to see Mamelodi Sundowns without Tebo Mokoena on the lineup, and he's been such an important player in that midfield. We've seen the rotation happening in that midfield, but not Debs, because it's such important. Now with this injury, it really forces everybody to step up, especially that position where it becomes an important one for Mamelodi Sundowns. That Obas now also has been at Sundowns for a couple of seasons, but this is also one of the seasons that he needs to step up and claim that starting role.
Scored twice Tebo Mokoena in this fixture last season. Oh, what a pass, just a little bit too heavy, beautifully disguised reverse pass, and Matthews couldn't latch onto it, just a little bit too heavy, but great vision there.
Great vision indeed from Cassius to be able to spot the runner that is Matthews there. Unfortunately the pass was a little bit heavy, but that's what Cassius brings now with his maturity, with his football IQ being high up there, being able to play as a false 9, being able to play just under Leon, but also to be able to play those type of passes that, you know, the runners will be able to benefit from.
Gonna get oh, look at the keeper here. Lako's come a long way out. Oh, very lucky not to foul his man, and then Sundowns still did a bit too much. I mean, the keeper was caught in completely no man's land. Where on earth was he going? Oh, what that must go down as an opportunity.
It is an opportunity indeed. You can see here as the goalkeeper, I think there was a lot of miscommunication that happened between the defensive line that Marumo Gallants, but also it felt nicely for Grant. He could have made that use. Look at here. I think also maybe a pass from my end there forces the play to go forward a little bit, but it still falls for Grant Kekana, who had acres and acres of space. Maybe that's why you can also maybe remember that maybe Shompo would have done something with the distance from there.
No one fancied themselves there. Absolutely, that would have. Now this is a rare opportunity for Marumo Gallants to get that ball into the box and easily cut out by Ronwen Williams, who surprisingly, Tikumdise has yet to keep a clean sheet this season.
It is surprising indeed, because we know that Mamelodi Sundowns have prided themselves as a team that will score goals without conceding much. But yet again, you also maybe also give credit as well to teams that are really facing themselves as a team also, that they can really cause harm for Mamelodi Sundowns defensively. I'm sure that Marumo Gallants have taken, video clips from what Kaizer Chiefs has done.
And now, oh, the spectacular effort from Rajan Leon. what a find this man has been for Mamelodi Sundowns. And now being supported up there by Cassius Mailula. Let's have a look at Ayende here. Keeping it in play under pressure. Almost managed to take. They did very well to protect the ball there, Marcelo Ayende. And in the end, defender putting enough pressure on him. That's Kumbulani Ngube. We'll throw in. Ngube, a former Kaizer Chiefs junior. Tekana said who's had opportunity to play now with Keegan Johannes. Tonight it's Malibonga Koza. And there's a ball in here. Could be a chance still for Sundowns, but bodies on the line there to keep the ball out, and a chance maybe to break with Otlatisa here for Marumo Gallants. Still Otlatisa couldn't escape, makes the save, but gets lucky there, Ronan Williams, that there was no one in a grey jersey following up.
There was no one there. Great run being done there by Ndlovu on the left-hand side, just up a ricochet of a ball. Really, they found space in time. The first time in the game there to find space, because Mudau was high up the pitch, and just deflection there really created chances for them. Maybe there's other opportunities that Marumo Gallants can benefit from, knowing that Mamelodi Sundowns will throw so much numbers in their own box.
Perhaps the template has been set, and yeah, that wasn't Ndlovu that tearing down the left-hand side for Marumo Gallants. Yeah, the template has been laid, and you see. That's why I think Potimo Hafe's side will be looking to profit is on the break.
They have to. But also what's important as well is once they do have the ball, the person that they need to break to needs to be able to find space and time to be able to do that. Maybe because Basadine also tucks in a little bit in that midfield becomes difficult, but Mudau, knowing that he's going to be maybe high up the pitch, maybe the right-hand side of Mamelodi Sundowns, that's the side maybe they might try and force Grant to get out of that defensive position that he has.
This was almost red, well read there. That pass as Matthews looked to run onto it. Gallants will take it all the way back. What we've seen. But we've seen there from Lako, he fancies himself with ball at feet.
Yeah.
Saw him coming out to make himself add numbers.
Yeah, I mean, in today's football, the goalkeepers, certain teams that plays from the back, they require a goalkeeper that is also comfortable to add numbers in terms of the build-up.
And of course, at the other end is a man who is a leading exponent of it, as you can see him now. Look how far out of his area Ronwen Williams is. Just...
And I guess E2 as well, with the goalkeeping department, especially in South Africa, at some point E2 was leading in terms of the distribution going forward, counter-attack. Maybe Ronwens also has influenced the goalkeepers as to then, be comfortable on the feet and in numbers, especially the way Sundowns play.
We do go through those. Let's have a look at Kuriso Mudau here, looking for the cutback and forced a corner here, and our man has gone down there. Looking in a bit of discomfort. Didn't see any contact. I don't know whether he might have caught Mudau as Mudau went for that square ball in, but he stayed down. We'll have a look at the replay here and see just what happens. Spot anything yet, Jacob Mdisa?
I think he was just trying to block that ball, maybe the follow through from Mudau, maybe just clipped him on his ankle.
Looks to be okay, back on his feet, Gunene. By the way, you heard he goes also by, he used to go by the name Ndlovu. But these days is Gunene Umsindisi. for Amazulu Junior. Still alive here for Sundowns! Oh! And it's gone right through the keeper! And it's Mamelodi who will claim it! The centre back! Oh, it's been coming. It's been total domination from Mamelodi Sundowns. And 20 minutes into it, they make the breakthrough.
They make a breakthrough indeed. This is the start that we're looking for, with total dominance, with the intention, quick rotation of the ball, and also credit should go as well to, I think it was Overs that really played the ball back after this corner kick. You look at them there, Pasadine, with a very nice in-swing. Of course, Grant, the ball went just outside of the game. You thought maybe it was dead, and then Overs bring it back. It finds Khoza just being free there. Normally you'd expect him Khoza to be the one on the header, but he's the one that using his feet. Gallants unable to clear that lines.
Yeah, now at the other end, looking to respond immediately. Marumo Gallants. So Malibongwe Khoza opens his account for the season and gives Mamelodi Sundowns the lead. And getting the party started right. Sundowns return to their fortress. That is Loftus. 15 games in the Betway Premiership last season. At this at home, they won 12, drew 3, did not lose any. In fact, the last time Mamelodi Sundowns lost a game at home was on the 25th of May 2024. The last game of the season, when they were chasing an unprecedented invincible season, lost their first match on the very last day of the season. How agonizing that must have been for the players.
Against Cape Town City.
Yep, a solitary goal. Your other former club. Pasadine! Oh, that ball had a strange kind of trajectory when it really hooked it. I almost thought that he must have, it took a deflection, that's how wide it went.
Yeah, with the space and time being given to Pasadine and how difficult it must be for Marumo Gallants to be able to pinpoint this then where exactly he's going to be operating so that they can try and defend him. But because he's such a good footballer, very comfortable on the feet, he suits very well into this style, and with the freedom that he has, he will find those type of spaces. He needs to decide whether to play a pass or whether to have a shot on goal. And this time around, he decided to take that shot. Unfortunately, he didn't hit the target.
Yes, absolutely. I was like, what the point you make is a good one. He says he must give a special type of headache now to the Marumo defense, because how do you track him? Because you just don't know where he's operating, because he keeps cutting on the inside here.
He does, because Cassius then becomes a second striker next to Leon, so it forces now Manaka to drop a little bit deeper. So once Manaka drop a little bit deeper, with Allende pushing, with Mokoena pushing, so it creates that little bit of a space. That's where then Pasadena occupies, because you don't have a normal 10. That's why they're unable to really track him down, because they're playing with 3 defensive midfielders. So it becomes very difficult, because especially at the back, if you can't do 1v1, you don't trust yourself, because you're a club also that wants to come here and maybe preserve results, so you can't really be brave and mark 1v1.
The ball running out on the far side there, just a bit too much of it. There is the man who we were just talking about for was Pasadine. Oh, and almost lost possession in a very dangerous area there, Sundowns. Now it's opening up for them now. Mkwena's got Kurisomutau to his right. Square ball in. And very good tracking back there to steal it, just as Mokoena looked to latch onto it. Sundowns have won it straight back. Kekana, here's our goal scorer, Malibongwe Khoza, who also scored 1 last season in 7 appearances. So he's already equaled his tally from last season. He scored as well in the CAF Champions League. 1 goal in the CAF Champions League, Malibongwe Khoza. Sundowns will be defending their title this season as African champions. be in the CAF Champions League with Orlando Pirates. Now this is good football. Maeluda. Here comes the run from Basadine, and then skewing up here, and the keeper again well positioned, but in an interesting position as well, well off his line. But he was in amongst the defenders there. Still Sundowns come forward. I think it's a bit another let off there for Marumo Gallants.
Indeed, but that's very bravery from Lako to be able to just to step off the line to try and make those type of saves, because Sundowns just seem to find, you know, ways, and on the left hand side where Basadine brought the ball.
Now the cross, crucial header there from Kuriso Mudawi, well aware of what was happening behind him with Gunene lurking. Steals it as Kuriso Mudawi dances past the marker and then does a little bit too much. He's gone down now. There's a chance there. Oh, that was audacious. And listen, that wasn't too far off.
No, it wasn't too far off, DT.
He spotted the keeper off his line there. Kuriso Mudawi stayed down. He did take a little bit of contact there as he overran the ball. He's the last player that want to lose to injury. Kuriso Mudawi already missing, as we mentioned, Tebo Mokoena. Keanu Kipid was another one who's missing. Sales also out with injury. Oh yeah, no, he got a huge chunk of him there.
Yeah, he did.
And then pull the trigger. You see that it can catch Ronwen Williams slightly off his line there. But then looking at it from that angle, looked like Williams had it covered. Kuriso Mudawi will have to make his way off the field to get running repairs. Doesn't look too distressed. Yeah, but he did get, I think there was a meaty challenge there. The referee missed that one.
And unfortunately, TT, we looked at the previous games where maybe, unfortunately, from the referee's point of view, missing those type of challenges, missing those full start on the ankle we've seen in every game. And I think those are type of issues that maybe going into the season they need to be looking at, because there's a lot of players that are getting injured, and there's no possibly caution or punishment that happens to those players.
Mutladisa, that's a bit of a waste. A bit wasteful, really, from that situation. Was Nguba actually operating out there as well? The right back on the overlap, he was.
Yeah, and you unfortunately for them, because at times, yes, there is a new coach. At times, you still want to have those old habits because you're so used to them. You're trying to play the cross there, but the only person that is playing in front from Marumo Gallants is Londo, the shortest man on the pitch. So maybe those cutbacks might be important, not the balls on the...
Yeah, there's not much he's going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Competing with Sompokegana and Malibongwe Koza in the air. Sundowns have a very good record in their opening home games of the season. They last lost their home game, their first home game, that was back in 2022, and they lost 1-0 to TS Galaxy. Shock 1-0 defeat at this venue. Last season they started off unbeaten in their first 8 games, Mamelodi Sundowns, winning 5 and drawing 3. And that run came to an end when they lost 1-0 away to Lamontville Golden Arrows. So just under half an hour gone here at Loftus Versfeld. Sundowns, if you've just walked in, leading by a Malibongwe Koza goal. Very well taken, although there'll be question marks about the defending from Gallants, as he found himself unmarked and volleyed the ball into the net. Did Malibongwe Koza through a whole mass of bodies in front of him, but he still managed to get the ball into the net. This is a opposition that let's look at Tashrik Matthews here. You see the attempts there. 7 attempts, 5 on target from Sundowns. That's a measure of the domination. Chance here. So Leon will pull the trigger. Now Matthews. Oh, I tell you what, his body's on the line there from Marumo Gallants at the back. Backs to the wall type of defending.
It is indeed. It doesn't really give much encouragement as to then will they be able to come out, because there's so many bodies there. And I think also maybe from a goalkeeping point of view, should be having some sort of communication to allow the team to push a little bit forward so that you can actually be able to see the ball. But because they're so under pressure, they don't want to concede the second ones. That's why you find themselves in that low block that they're having.
Bas Marukotso there rubbing himself down after taking one square in the ribs. The referee didn't like that challenge. Starts up, and it's going to be the first yellow of the game. It's going to Malibongwe Khoza. He didn't like the look of that challenge, referee Mdluli, and he was well placed. He gets a bit of the ball, but also it's just that the starts up and going in on there. This is at the other end. Look at how far the keeper was off his line when he made that save. That's from denying Bennett Mokoena. What would have been his first for the senior team.
Yeah, and Mokoena, he gets into those positions. I saw him also against Kaizer Chiefs. He gets into those shooting positions, but he's still young. It's a lot of learning and a lot of improvement that needs to happen. But no doubt, he's such a talented player, and surrounded by equally talented players, so he will get it to, improve, especially from a youngster. A goal can do a massive boost in terms of your confidence.
Ball in here, and it could be a chance. Oh, that very nearly snuck in. Kunene almost sneaking in on the blind side. Iskakani. It was. Jeez, that was a dangerous ball there.
It's always difficult ball, especially if it's played very nicely. You can see that bounce really caused Mamelodi Sundowns a problem to be able to defend.
Some excellent work there from Mailula to win possession, and then a crunching challenge to win the ball back by Yanga Madiba. He was at Orbit College last season on loan, along with Siabonga Ndlozi and one or two other players that were known from Orlando Pirates. Wasn't enough to save the status of Orbit College. So we'd like to get this ball here.
Onside.
Coming from the blind side.
Yeah, coming from the blind side. Overs is the one that played on onside, but that bounce, because of the pitch, the surface is a little bit wet, it skids. It really becomes difficult to be able to defend, but good covering there by Ronan Williams.
Colliding there with the upright Ronan Williams can be extremely painful. Oh, keeper. Very brave, I tell you. This keeper doesn't panic.
Yeah.
Give him that credit.
Yeah.
He really does back himself in those situations. For Kaizer Stars man now, possibilities down that right-hand side. Sundowns get organized defensively. Look at their shape. Look at how many players they have there in line. Sundowns, when they lose possession, most the line of 5 players I was talking about their options now at centre-back. With Keanu Kifede still out, of course, the great news is that Mutobi Mvala is on the bench these days again for Sundowns. Boy, has he been missed.
Yeah, with Mutobi, I think it's unfortunate for him ever since Coach Cardoso has been around. I think he's struggling with injuries. It was a massive, massive loss for Kopido to be injured. I mean, he missed out as well, missed out on possibly to be in the national team to go to the World Cup. But yet again, you know, with Koza also, he needs to step his authority. With Johannes as well, seen him being converted as a centre-back.
Oh my goodness, there's some bad news here because I think it's that Kuriso Mdau that is going off on the stretcher to Komodisi.
Yeah, and then we spoke about as to then it is a type of player that you really don't want to lose. The amount of work that he puts in, the amount of runs and creativity that he has up front. Clearly, those that challenge that happened to him earlier on, really wasn't able to recover from that.
It looked like it's something that he could walk off, but he's not even walking down the tunnel. He is on a stretcher. He's been stretchered down the tunnel. We'll get word from pitch side as to what the damage is there. That's never a good sign. So Sundowns have been down to 10 men for the last while, and now they've got some defending to do here. And Batuse Aubas. Batuse. So that's going to force an early change on Mamelodi Sundowns then. And it'll be Zuko Mtunyelwa who will replace Kuriso Mdau as a straight swap. But that is not good news at all for Mamelodi Sundowns with the Cup semi-final coming up on the weekend. And Zuko Mtunyelwa comes in for his first appearance in the Betway Premiership this season. He has featured in MTN8. Now we'll have to start with some defending to do first as Marumo line up the corner. Oh, went through everyone there. Living dangerously there, Mamelodi Sundowns. Good ball whipped in by Gunene.
It was an awkward, good ball being played in. Became very difficult for Mamelodi to be able to defend because their standing position wasn't great at all.
So, we were just talking about the injuries for Mamelodi Sundowns. Now you can add another one to that list with Kuriso Mdau going off. Missed the early parts of last season, if you recall, when he wasn't, I think, together with Tebo Mokoena. They were used in MTN8. And, yeah, but I mean, whenever Kuriso Mdau is fit, he plays.
Of course.
Which is most of the time, really. It's not a player who's often injured. As Gondo goes sliding in. It's going to be a tough night for him. He'll have to do a lot of running around. Gondo.
It's going to be, but if maybe they can have a little bit of twerking a little bit into the system instead of him trying to press, because Mamelodi Sundowns will have that possession, you know, conserve your energy when the team has the ball so that you can be able to have speed and energy to break. But trying to press Mamelodi Sundowns from the back is just really opening gaps, and that's the gaps that they're going to use.
And also, it's an uncoordinated press because he's on his own.
Exactly. So when you press as your own, you need to allow the ball to go out wide. Then you use the line also as an opposition to be able to try and then press. But straight from two centre backs that are very comfortable on the ball, it's just a waste of energy, and especially from a team that wants to play on the break.
Trying to press the pressers. It's been pulled back. The referee allowed play to continue. Matthews latches onto it. Allende. Aubas, who is literally slotted into the position where Tebo Mokoena would be operating. Mokoena. Such an elegant young player. Yet another one out of the foul. 5 minutes to go to the break at Loftus. Mamelodi Sundowns are in the lead and have been commanding, although had one or two scares. But there's Matthews takes his eye off the ball there. Well, as things stand, Sundowns would move up into 4th place, 3 places up. Lula looking to turn and twist one way and the other. Danger not gone yet. Now they do get it away. Frustration, and Landlo just frustrated with the service or lack of. Felt that ball, you should have looked for him with that ball. Otherwise he's making a lot of aimless runs. Mtunyaga's ball in looks good. Danger not gone yet here. Matthews! Oh, yes, pulled it. Oh, man. It's still only 1-0. At Sundowns have had so many chances, Teko Modise.
So many chances indeed. And with this man finding the ball at the right area as an inverted winger, unfortunately for him, he took a wrong position. Here it is, the ball is clearly, and you can see it just bounces very well for him on the right-hand side. We've seen at the World Cup where a lot of wingers using the defenders as the shield for the goalkeeper not to be able to see those balls. But TT, you have to start doing them in training. It can't just happen in the game, and that's one of the things in his game that is Matthews to be able to improve, because he gets opportunities to score and he's to be able to put more numbers on the board for Mamelodi Sundowns this season.
They also have to be a little bit more ruthless. Well, if there's one thing that they've done differently is that they've taken the lead this time around. There have been a few matches where they've had to do a rear guard effort. That was the case over the weekend against Kaizer Chiefs. Had to come from behind as well in the cup match against Polokwane City. Bully, they're agitated about something. Wants words here. Having strong words, more directed at Aubas. Oh, very strong words for Aubas there. And that's from Londo. Frustration must be starting to creep in from Londo as well.
Yeah, because I think he was trying to play the ball quick, and then Aubas stood just in front of the ball just to delay the play to delay the play a little bit. That's where they started this tussle.
He's doing a very lonely job. Is Londo. Let's have a look at what Gallants can do from the set piece. They delivered a very good one last time out. It was a bit closer to goal than that one was. Now Tashford Matthews, of all people, putting in the defensive work. There's a man who featured in all Sundowns league matches last season, in all 30. The only player to do so in the Sundowns lineup. Even Ronald Williams only managed 29 as in Londo's ball in. Man at the back post there. Oh! Still alive. And it took a deflect. It's going to be another corner. Well, I think this is another feature of Sundowns game this we've seen recently. Is there's difficulties they're having defending set pieces.
It's always been a Sundowns thing to be able to be unable to defend set pieces. And also even this season as well, Coach Cardozo came out and said we need to do better in defending set pieces, and it's something that needs to work on throughout the season.
Londo this time, it's well defended. Ronald Williams goes direct. Looking for Mailula to run. It's Matthews. Mailula, nice little touch there from Mailula. Just given away by Matthews. Philip Ngonzo. Dabaite tried to come very deep to come and do his own spade work. And then they've given it away after all that work.
It's always going to be challenging as a team that really, really plays on the break, because you need people to be able to run off the ball for you to get those passes. And you can see Ndondo's trying to run across the pitch, maybe waiting for Tladisa to make maybe a run going forward. But then again, it was a run that amounted to nothing. They need to find solutions in the second half. So then what is it that they're going to do when they do have the ball?
Marumo Gallants have lost more matches against Mamelodi Sundowns than any other team in the Betway Premiership. And they are currently on a horrid run of form themselves. Winless in 13 matches, Marumo Gallants. Finished last season with 7 draws to get their points, only just to save them their Premiership lives.
And after being in a domestic cup final, you expect them to have some sort of hope and a glance to show that you can really, really escape. If you can have a good run of form in the cup game, I'm sure it shouldn't be that difficult to do it in the league.
It wasn't the first time that a deep cup run affected their league form. Remember, the season they were relegated after having a deep run in the CAF Confederation Cup. Oh, it's a turn, and what a turn. Now, they've got numbers here, Mamelodi Sundowns. And I don't know if they played the right ball there, but they're still alive. Gosh, it's amazing how just that single turn just opened up the field there. And Mr. Mdluli blows the whistle to end a very dominant display from Mamelodi Sundowns, but somehow it's still only Madibongwe Khoza's goal in the 21st minute. The difference between the two sides, and it was a well-taken goal, Kiko Modise.
It was indeed. It was a great ball being played by Basadine. It finds Obas at the back post, also kept the ball alive, and it falls nicely for Khoza, using the right part of the boot to able just to control the ball, just to try and hit the target. And I think that's one of the things that Mamelodi Sundowns needs to try and improve this season. Yes, it's still early on into the season. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done still, but with the total dominance that they've showed against Marumo Gallants, sometimes you need to be able to kill off the games in the first half and just win them there. And especially with the rotation that we've seen Coach Cardoso making, it helps then to give more players an opportunity. But those opportunities for the players up front, they need to take accountability. Matthews had an opportunity, and I think also Leon also had Mailula, also all of those people that are playing up front, they need to actually maybe try and be able to kill off those games a little bit early, especially with all the dominance that they've showed in the first half.
It will be Mamelodi Sundowns to get us back underway at the start of the second half. Our referee is Eugene Mdluli. The man in charge has kept tight rein on proceedings here. And it's the men in yellow and blue that get us back underway. Marumo Gallants in the grey strip with green socks, attacking the goals to the right of your picture. Looking to apply some early pressure here. Just to let you know, no further changes at the break. Sundowns lost Kuriso Mdau to injury. And didn't look good because he went off on a stretcher. We are hearing the word is... So no confirmation is what the word we're getting about the extent of Kuriso Mdau's injury, but there's a suspicion that early diagnosis suggests it might be an Achilles injury. If it is, that is a bad one. But the good thing about an Achilles injury these days is that you can be back in fairly quick. These days they fix them really well. I mean, Temba's one, it did struggle to get back from his one. As a shot comes in, and it's rising all the time from Aubas, doing his best Tebo Mukwena impersonation. As they slotted into that position as Aubas
Yeah, what's encouraging about him, it's his control. It just sets him up very, very nicely there, opening his body, controlling with the left foot. Just the ball now falls in front of you, then you can be able to decide as to then to shoot it, to take a pass. But exactly, he's been brave in today's game, be able to take a couple of shots. He hasn't really hit the target, but those are opportunities that they need to continue as well. But also from him as well, getting into those type of positions, he mustn't stop shooting. He needs to just try and get it on target.
Gallants have got a clean sheet to their name this season. Managed one that against the Kruger, and then the rookies to the PSL. But last season in their away games, they conceded in every single away game with Marumo Gallants. If there was a league table for form away from home, Marumo Gallants would have finished in 15th position. Last season, they only managed 2 wins away last season, drew 4 and lost 9 matches.
I guess also to a certain degree, certain teams need to start playing differently, home and away. You know, the teams like Sundowns, your Pirates, your Chiefs, expected to try and dominate everywhere you're going. But certain things you need to be able to readjust, knowing that you can play a little more different type of systems when you're playing away, and be able to, you know, go all out when you're playing at home, just to try and use that home ground advantage.
Let's have a look at this as Williamson gets it away, just under pressure there. As Njongla was bearing down on him. I want to put something to you in a second about that approach that you're talking about, how you play at home and away. It's a nice feed there from Zuko Mpinyana. This one comes to Ayende, switching it up and finding Matthews. Nice touch to control. And Manaka gets it away for Marumo Gallants. Is there merit to take Modisa in you know, almost taking certain games as a free hit, to say this is Sundowns. No one really expects us to beat Sundowns away from home. How about we have a real goal? You know, that if we lose 3-0, all right, so be it. But what's the point of losing 3-0 while playing defensively? Let's have a look at this now. There's a drop on the shoulder here. Utladisa looking to get around Koza. Comes again, there's Utladisa. And then just does a little bit too much. And Sundowns, oh boy, that's gone over that's gone over the dead ball line for a corner. Mistake there. So it's a rare corner then for Gallants. I said rare corner, that's a surprising stat. 5 corners to 1 in favor of Gallants. They did have a few there in the first half. The first one in the second half. Hunan actually did deliver a couple of really good balls, and will go for the outswinger. You heard what the word is there. When you put it on the near post. Throw in on the far side. Now, Matthews here. Can he get the pass to Mailula? Yes, he does. A heavy first touch from Mailula. Just lets himself down there. Cassius Mailula, the goal was on there. Oh, and another chance goes begging for Mamelodi Sundowns. Another chance indeed. Cassius has been let down by that first touch, but look at this pass from Mukwena with an outside foot early on, realizing that Cassius was on, but also give credit also to Lako to be able to just step out of his post to make himself a little bit bigger, to force Mailula to take that shot double 80, but also great recovery as well. Move it there. Move it, yeah. With a covered defense. But another chance for Sundowns. And it's still only 1-0. A very precarious lead. Sundowns should know more than most sides this season that 1-0 is not a secure. As a free kick is given for the foul on Nyanga Matiba. It's not a secure scoreline at all. As Marumo Gallants will fancy themselves. They can sneak one in. Well, for as long as it stays 1-0, that'll give them encouragement. This season, the first time since 2017 that Mamelodi Sundowns are not the defending champions. 8 years they went, winning the back-to-back titles, unprecedented. All manner of records really that Sundowns have broken over the years. And tonight they could break another one, and that is the most successive games undefeated, the longest run of undefeated at home, currently sitting on that 30. That's in all competitions, a record that they share with Kaizer Chiefs. They once went on a similar run. It was in the days of Ted Dumitru.
Shushan and Piano.
Yeah. When he led the Kaizer Chiefs, was when they managed to put together that long run at home, with an unbeaten record at home. So they will continue on their merry ways, and in terms of the record books, Mamelodi Sundowns. But I think one of the priorities for them, no doubt, will be to reclaim this Betway Premiership title. They've already, well, all of the contenders so far have dropped points already. With Chiefs drawing against Sundowns, dropping points for the first time in the league, and then Pirates also were held to a 1-1 draw recently by Mazulu. So points have been dropped already early on in the season as Matthew's ball comes through to Emil Lako. We have a goalkeeper named Emil once again in the Betway Premiership. Last one we had was Stanton Frederick's old teammate at the Olympic squad. That's Emil Barron. As Gallants now, chance maybe to get a shot on the target, and then a shot at Ronan Williams. Only one on target in that first half for Gallants. The front men had very little to work with. Sundowns, well, so far this season have gained 4 points from losing positions. So showing their powers of recovery. And now, as I was saying, that when you consider Sundowns are not really yet into the full running, and that machine is not purring as yet, it's a scary prospect really for the rest of the league once they click into place as Basadine. Popping up in all types of interesting positions there, Basadine. As a change is going to happen now, Lebohang Button is going to make his second appearance of the season. And it's Simon Lutuli that makes way. Just your thoughts then, Tikomdisa, on what the ploy is here from Coach Puti Mohafe?
I guess also maybe just to try still have more, a little bit of control when not in possession of the ball, to have, you know, the right players at the right position, but also it helps that Button then will be able to make those forward runs that they really need it, with just Ndlondlo, especially in the first half. Maybe Button will be able to fresh legs a little bit, just to try exploit Mamelodi Sundowns defense.
Sugom Tuyera, he came on as a sub later on in that first half for the injured Kuliso Mudau, and the bad news for Mamelodi Sundowns is that it sounds like it may well be a serious one that could keep him out for a while, especially the way he walked off the field initially. It could be a chance that the back post covering was Dunyela. The way he walked off the field initially, he didn't go off on a stretcher, but in the end, oh no, it's a great ball in here. Could be a chance here. Lion off the upright, but the whistle had gone. Was a flag up for offside from Mr. Mkati from the other side. That's a beautiful flowing move though from Mamelodi Sundowns. Does he go too early?
Yeah, it was. I can see it's actually a bit late. Early rather. A good call from the officiating, but also there's a threat that Mamelodi Sundowns can have, you know, because we know that Mamelodi Sundowns are a team that will literally play out. But now with Leon, now with Mailula up front, you know, with Matthews, they can actually, you know, engage a little bit of speed play, a little bit of a transition as well, be able to catch these teams on the counter. And you can see also how dangerous they may look. We've seen the earlier chances that Mailula missed when Luka made himself big, and also with this offside call there where Leon was. So they can actually, you know, play differently depending on what the circumstances or situations are.
Sundowns will really we're looking for that second goal, looking to get it soon, yeah, because this can make things really nervy late on in the game if it stays 1-0. Offside flag up again. Watching closely there, it was young Mokoena that went offside. Sundowns are going to make a triple change. And amongst those to come on is the team captain, Tembazwani. And also standing by Sianda Ndlovu, the exciting new signing, and Aubrey Mudiba also waiting on the sidelines. So what would that be? Basadina, I would imagine, would go off. And Sianda is also going to look at this. Didn't quite get a hold of that one. Now a chance to break here for the pace of Matthews here. And just overruns it. So hearing Bennett Mokoena will make way for Sendandlovu. One exciting young prospect on for another. Beautiful, stood his ground. Even Kurisha Mudau would have been proud of that piece of defending from Mtunyana Ayende. We have another happy winner, 30,000 Rand richer, all for making an effort. Sponese, Signiga. 30,000 bucks for Ntlantla Grunberg. Is pretty happy with herself. So here we go then, we're gonna get the changes now. On comes Tembazwani. And Aubrey Mudiba replaces Basadine straight from there. And then also Sianda Ndlovu comes in for his second appearance in the Betway Premiership for his new club. Thoughts then, Tikomodise, on the changes?
I think it's to with the inclusion of Tembazwane, I guess maybe to have more creativity in that midfield, but with Ndlovu as well, just to make sure that he gets more minutes, understand the game of the play, but also we know as to how creative he is, playing on his right-hand side. Also trying to find different combination, but still yet being dominant within their play as well. But also what's important, TT, is to get that cushion, that second goal. That's why these changes are being made.
First appearance in the Betway Premiership for Tembazwane then. Saw him come off the bench and make an impact in that cup game, setting up Cassius Mailula for the winner against Polokwane City. They were pushed hard in that one, Sundowns. Pushed to the limits with the lost possession here, and Londo stealing it. Comes to Londo again. He can hit them from far. Was dipping, but not quickly enough.
With Ndlovu now, I guess with the baton being introduced, it allows then Ndlovu to play a little more deeper in his favorite position as an attacking midfielder. He will get those type of opportunities. We know that, like you rightfully said, he can hit them, so Mamelodi Sundowns need to get closer to him.
Oh, could be problems here. Mistake nearly. Well, it was a mistake, but they're just able to recover. They had Ronwen Williams shuffling back. And Ndlovu, by the way, scored last season from the penalty spot in a 3-1 defeat. Sundowns getting their goals via a brace for Tebo Mokwena and an own goal by Sposaka and TNT. And now good run from young Ndlovu, the exciting Ndlovu. He really is a marvel to watch. Plays with so much freedom. I don't know whether it's the exuberance of youth, you know.
Yeah, and talent as well.
Yeah, he is extremely gifted.
Yeah, he is. I can't wait to see him once he is acclimatized to Mamelodi Sundowns way and form some sort of a partnership with the players around him. And that's when you see a good player becoming great and better and better.
There was a passage of play against Kaizer Chiefs when he got a ball that came over his shoulder and he killed it dead and laid off the pass all in one motion. With fabulous skills up there. And what a find he looks like being here for Mamelodi Sundowns. Look at that, still domination in terms of possession for Mamelodi Sundowns. That in itself is not a surprise, but the scoreline remains a bit of a surprise. So look at that, 8 attempts in the first half to 4, and in the second half, well, more even. And Sundowns have had a better look at a goal. And but as I said, Marumo Gallants will grow in belief. We've got the free kick here, and there's a player down for Sundowns. It's Ayende, who's slowly getting to his feet. A little bit of handbags here. Referee intervening, restoring calm. Well, is that Lulu who scored? Marumo Gallants is quite a bad challenge by Rekoto there. Back live. 25 minutes remaining. Ndlovu. He's got space to run into. What options does he have? Will he go to... What a pass! Oh, Tembazwane flops his lines, of all people. Oh, what a ball to find him from young Ndlovu. And of all people, you would have expected this man to give it the treatment it deserved.
Indeed, we spoke about the little different ways of Mamelodi Sundowns playing. A little bit of speed, great pass there being played by Ndlovu. Shigabala being let down by his first touch. You can see the ball just
get away from him.
Get away from him.
What a chance.
What a chance indeed.
Another one. I don't know how many times we've said that in this game to Gomdese. And we can't help but be a little nervous for Sundowns when that sort of thing happens. We have seen this movie way too many times.
Yeah, you don't want to drag the game further than it should, and with all the opportunities being created, you still want to be able to punish. And also, if those opportunities are you're unable to bury them, then you need to defend better with the ball. And at the latter stage of the game, if the scoreline is still the same, Mamelodi Sundowns need to do better with the ball and just keep possession.
Now could be another opening. Yeah! Oh, beautiful! That's a beautiful finish. It's Marumo. He's done it again. Cassius Marumo. 2 in 2. That's his 3rd goal since he's rejoined Sundowns. Incredible. He can be quiet through the game, but give him the chance. Oh, what a finish.
It is such a great finisher, that is Cassius Marumo. We've been wondering, when will he get an opportunity in this game to be able to, give that Mamelodi Sundowns a cushion. But yet again, the very person that is very instrumental in this play again, Ndlovu coming in as a sub. But we'll also look at Leon as well, realizing that he's under pressure, realizing that, he can't make his way through, play the ball just behind him where Cassius was. But a great passage of play from there. But Cassius as well, realizing that he just needed a little bit of time, a little bit of space. There he is, using his laces, being able to punish Lakwa there.
Absolutely no chance for the keeper, just flew past him. That will do it now. They finally got that 2nd goal, Sundowns, that their domination has really warranted. They've been a little bit wasteful in front of goal, but Marumo, my word. That is just remarkable what this man is doing on his 2nd coming. Now, can Gallants pull one back? Answer is no for now. He's really not a player who needs to be heavily involved in the play, Cassius Marumo, for him to make an impact. Isn't that what you want really from the mark of a true goal scorer?
Indeed, especially from a team that really dominates with the ball. So there's certain players that they don't really need to be part of the build-up, because then you have your Shigabal on the pitch, you have your Ayendo on the pitch, you've got your Obers on the, you've got ball players on the pitch. So maybe him hiding a little bit, finding space and time really gives them those type of opportunities, because opposition also forgets about you. But once you get into those positions, you need to be able to punish, and that's what Cassius has done. That's why he's so good. As to the Mamelodi Sundowns giving him this cushion that they needed in this game.
Well, 2 very different goals and that he scored in successive matches. The one against Kaizer Chiefs, I don't know how much you knew about that one.
I asked him about it. He said he didn't know that he scored.
That's what it looked like to me. And you had to hear it from the crowd and his teammates that, hey, he just scored. And this one, though, nothing fluky about it. Sheer class. It's similar to the goal that he scored against Polokwane City. Just threaded it through the narrowest of gaps. But he picked his spot with absolute precision. In his last season with Mamelodi Sundowns, when he left to the season when he departed in 2023, he scored 9 goals that season from 18 appearances. Also had 3 assists in that campaign. So he is a player who scored some fantastic numbers in front of goal.
And also look at us then how long he has gone from Mamelodi Sundowns. You can just expect a little bit of maturity, a little bit of growth within his play as well. So it's going to be very important. He needs to stay fit. He needs to get to his fitness levels that is needed for him to perform at the highest level, because he knows that he has to contribute so much from Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm sure the fans are excited to see him back. And
his numbers really make for impressive reading. I mean, if you thought that Brajan Leon had an impact on the game, this man is doing something fabulous. Brajan has been a more frequent scorer for Sundowns. Scored 11 goals. Now there's Tapelo Dludlu who scored at the weekend. against Stellies is the player who is introduced. I wonder whether it's not too little too late. Well, 20 minutes is still a long way to go yet in the game. Kapelo Dulu slot in on the right-hand side of attack. Now, Lulu, loose goal. Lulu's goal came against, as I said, in a 3-1 rout against Stellies. It was more of a consolation goal than anything else. But again, it's a sign that, well, when another game where they gave the opposition a head start, Marumo Gallants, Glovo again, could get worse here for Gallants. And good defending there. Facing his own goal, did well. Had to get that absolutely right. Mbazwane sprinkling a little bit of Shisha magic. Now looking for a way through here. Still Marumo Gallants packing men behind the ball, maintaining defensive discipline. Although breaking down the defense hasn't really been Sundowns' problem this evening. It's been just finishing.
It's been finishing, and with that two-goal cushion that they have, now they can really try and dominate more. And what's impressive as well about them is being able to counter-press after losing the ball, and that really minimizes the distances that they have to run back, especially against the team that really want to rely on that transition play.
Mbazwane turning it on, looking for the return ball. Manaka, it comes away with it, asking Utladisa to do some running. It's a little bit isolated now. Londo racing into the box. I mean, really, you're asking the shortest man on the field to get up for that cross. Still alive though. Signal is goal kick. And as it stands, Sundowns into third place. Now it's the goal difference making a difference, so to speak. You can see +3, the goal difference for Sundowns now. So if they get another, they could go second on the table. So wants to return and plays in the pass immediately there, looking for Mailula.
Yeah, I can see whenever Ndlovu has the ball, TT, it just brings so much excitement within the club itself. He's such an energized player. You can see his intent as to try and make a mark at Mamelodi Sundowns. Of course, it's still a long way. Talented player he is, but he's so clever on the ball. Look at the amount of chances rather that he has created so far after coming on as a substitute.
There is a real buzz every time he gets onto the ball. Ndlovu, another one who's come off the production line out of Lamontville Golden Arrows, over the years have produced some really exciting ball-playing players. Miscue, and could be punished for this. And Sundowns try to bring one in, not the best delivery from Aubas. So yeah, Kutono Letaku will replace Cassius Mailula, who got his first start, but clearly the fitness levels aren't quite there yet for Mailula. But that's a beautifully struck finish, and his job is done, and he's back in a big way. He's back in a big way with a bang.
He is back with a bang. And it's impressive as well. So then Coach Cardoso being able to manage those minutes. If you can recall as well with the catches as well, it's been a while since he really played a high competitive match, so it's important just to manage, but also as a player that has been given opportunity, that never really had a big opportunity to have a pre-season with Mamelodi Sundowns, to come in within the few minutes that he's come on to be able to score goals is such an important thing for his confidence.
Rewarded for his goal at the weekend with a start, his first start of the season, and he has in turn rewarded his coach with a goal that looks at this stage, even with just under 13 minutes left of the game, you would think should be enough for Sundowns to wrap up the points. But we dare not speak too soon, because Sundowns have yet to keep a clean sheet this season. We saw them turn things around against Polokwane City, only to be pegged back in that cup game. Got from 1-0 down, made it 1-1, and then went 2-1 up, and then City made it 2-2 before Mailula produced another special finish to win it in extra time and set up this weekend's MTN 8 semi-final against Kukuna United. Sundowns will be away for that first leg. Pirates take on Lamontville Golden Arrows do. Pirates in the other semi-final. Pirates looking for an unprecedented 5th successive MTN 8 title. They've made that trophy all their own. So can Sundowns hold on for... Now that's a great pass for Mudiba. Goes in for the first time. Ball looking for Brajan Leon. Goal kick. It's been a busy night for the centre backs, Ricoto and Skakani.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea from Mudiba to be able to play that ball a little bit earlier on, because you could see that Leon was urging, but good also tackling as well from Ricoto, making sure that he just kept the ball safe.
Well, this is the sort of performance and result that Mamelodi Sundowns would have been hoping for in their first appearance before here at Loftus. Putting on a show.
Yeah, and then that clean sheet that we spoke about becomes such an important thing, playing at home.
Tembazwane looking to play it with Ndlovu. Ndlovu didn't read that one. There are big things to come from this young player. He is very direct, goes straight at this, does not avoid the contact, he goes straight for the defender. And he's got such quick feet.
Yeah, he still has that kasi rawness as to then. It wasn't, you know, when the coaches go look shit about Mlande. Like he still has that in him, and with the great IQ, of course, of the game, be able to, you know, being able to see the passes through and play that quickness is going to be a very an important value, an important player for Sundowns this season.
It's a nightmare for defenders to deal with that type of thing.
Yeah.
When a player comes at you at such speed and he's got such great feet as well, you don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to go left or right. It makes him a real handful here. Now, what can they come up with here? Put a shot on target. Not a bad effort.
And we always want to give advices to especially those inverted wingers sometimes with the pace that you're coming into a defender, you don't have to dribble. You just need to change direction because already they backpedal.
Yes.
You always have an advantage when it comes to that. But once you stop the ball, you allow them to reform, it always becomes a challenge, forces you to do things that you didn't supposed to.
Timbazwane doing the things out there. Look at that. That's a story of total domination, really. More than 5 times the number of passes. Utladisa. Zondo, the nice little reverse pass there, and well, I think as a Utladisa, they're caught in 2 minds. Wasn't sure whether to have a shot or control the ball. Button there that had that effort on goal. Earlier on for Marumo Gallants, but there was not enough power in it to trouble Rodwin Williams. And it was straight at Williams as well. So this winless streak continues for Gallants. As I said, 5 matches going back to last season away from home without a win. By the way, this is Puti Mohafe. Again, another one breaks down there for Gallants. Now, can they get a third here, Sundowns? Which even would make a difference to their league position.
It will indeed. And also just from a good start, or maybe just to continue, you know, how we've been questioning as to then have they got into the groove or not.
Puti Mohafe, this is his 100th match in charge in all competitions, including his matches as a co-coach, but it's not to be a happy one, a happy anniversary, so to speak. I think they had their chances. This is the thing, they had their chances at 1-0. But just on the balance of play, I don't think there was enough that they offered to get something out of the game. Now, it's opening up here, chance of Lukaku to pick out Leon. Couldn't find the pass. Lukaku, his first appearance in the Betway Premiership this season.
And also when it comes back to the chances that you're alluding to, maybe you can question the fact that they started very negatively, so they really didn't create enough chances for them to travel. But once they started, you know, trailing and then making those type of changes that is Coach Puti, then that's when they started creating a little bit of chances. Maybe you can question yourself as that maybe maybe wasn't that the way that he should have started the game and maybe put himself in a good position to be able to try and win the game.
I thought the introduction of Zulu as well came on rather late. He's on a bit of a dry spell himself, Puti Mohafe. Winless in 7 league matches, drawing 4, losing 3 since a 1-0 home triumph against Stellies when he was in charge of Polokwane City. And it was got away from Button. Timbazwane with an eye-catching second cameo appearance here. He's taking charge of the game in midfield, pulling the strings and dictating the tempo of the play here now. Another change then, one more change for Marumo Gallants, Tabisom Kanazi. This player that's just being introduced. Another dejected figure there. Katlehotla Disa, it was not a good night for him. Was not a good night really for Marumo Gallants. As we have a look at this, trying the late run here, Sundowns maybe just looking to finish it off in style with a third goal here. Just put a stamp on what has been a really dominant display and impressive, easy on the eye as well. You just get the sense maybe this is just them now starting to click into gear, and this is again despite all the changes at Tukumadisa, which is another a good sign for them.
It is indeed. With all the quality players expected and with the identity of the team, you're expecting them to really,
my word. Chance now! Oh, the keeper manages to get something on it and patters it out. Patters it out for a corner. Toying with him now. That's Ndlovu.
Yeah, you can see the first opportunity for Leon got blocked, but look at Ndlovu. Realizing there's no space, he still buys time. Quick feet again using his left, but good cover there from Lako. But this man here, I think just to cement his position, just to cement his performances, I think that's what he needs, just to go. Yeah.
Composure with a capital C.
Yeah.
Doesn't rush things, doesn't panic when he's in the box. If it's not on, he's not going to have a go and blast the ball against the defender, which you see so often from youngsters. But yeah, as you mentioned the word about his football brain as well.
Yeah.
And look at him tracking back there now. Tracking back as well, knows that there's also defensive duties to be taken care of.
Look, when you look at Mamelodi Sundowns over the years, there's always been a conversation regarding players coming into the team being unable to acclimatize a little bit quicker, and those who do actually acclimatize a bit quicker, they always seem to look so outstanding. Look at Ndlovu right now. You won't be surprised really if he come over the weekend is in the first lineup because of the contribution that he has been bringing off the bench.
And it's the young players that have been so impressive in settling in.
Yeah.
The likes of Mokwena, they look like seasoned first-team players.
Indeed.
And then Ndlovu now, another one of the young brigade on the score sheet in the form of Malibongwe Khoza, who opened up, who started the scoring. Tempaswane now combining with Allende. They want more of Primotiba. That if Brian Leon had kept his run going, he would have been onside because that came off from Marumo Gallants' player. But just checked out of it as I think he thought it was offside.
Yeah, and I think maybe also just to throw a little bit of a criticism to maybe how Mamelodi Sundowns play. With Leon's runs, you're going to have to find somebody that will be able to play those balls because he's always on side, he always make good runs, but at times he needs to play the ball a bit quicker.
Here's the ball in here. Well, they don't want to spoil the night here, Sundowns, by conceding late on here. Probing again, Ndlovu. There's no way through. Manaka there can get onto it. Allende, he's also been a good screen there for the defense, as he usually is. Marcelo Allende put in a shift.
Always does. You know exactly what you get from him. Organized play when the team is under pressure, when the team is free-flowing, you'll see him high up the pitch, being more creative.
Lukaku playing it with Tembazwan. Modiba. Why not? Why not? Just turn it on for the crowd. Marumo Gallants also showing off their own young talent there. Young Tabi Somkonas, who just came on. He's a young defender who's been with TUT in the CB League and has been very impressive as well. Highly rated youngster, under 17. He plays for Highlands Park under 17 side. That's where they originally got him from. There he is. So it's a name you're going to hear about a lot. You can see he's still got a lot of developing physically to do as well.
Yeah.
So it needs to fill out.
And also kudos to the coaches for giving such youngsters opportunities to be able to play. We've seen a lot of teams now not being scared to really put these youngsters up to the test. And these youngsters also, they've really showed that they're capable.
Can do a defensive job, but also is a goal-scoring midfielder. And known for the central role. Robert Williams looks as if he is on his way. He's only seconds away from his first clean sheet of the season. Managed a total of 13 last season, and there it is, confirmation then. Job done. They made heavy work of it at times. Mamelodi Sundowns, with all their domination. As Matbonga calls out the long and short of that story. And Bradley on a quiet night by his lofty standards. But he was playing a supporting role late on. The pass that led to the second goal of the match. And Tiko